Travel back into the thick morning mist of ancient Kerala, a landscape where the boundary between documented history and local legend begins to blur. These stories are preserved in the Aithihyamala, a massive compilation of folklore that records seemingly impossible feats as if they were everyday historical occurrences. Within these records stands Mangalappilli Moothathu. He was a master astrologer and scholar whose predictions were so consistent they were treated with the same weight as physical evidence. One day, Moothathu dropped by a friend's house and found a client, a Brahmin known as a poti, sifting through a massive stack of horoscopes, trying to find a compatible wife. This casual visit was about to put Moothathu's reputation for precision to an immediate live test. Without sitting down or performing any of the standard astrological calculations, Moothathu looked over the pile. He pushed almost all of them aside, pausing on one single horoscope. He told the poti that while this specific girl was his perfect match according to the stars, the marriage would never actually happen. He added a darker detail. The woman the poti eventually married would die before she could give birth, forcing him to seek a second wife to continue his lineage. The poti found the claim ridiculous. He personally knew the family of the girl Moothathu had identified as the perfect match, and he was certain their long-standing friendship would guarantee the union. Determined to prove the astrologer wrong, the poti left to arrange the wedding immediately. At first, it looked like the poti had succeeded. He secured the girl's hand, finalized the dowry, and set a date, seemingly bypassing the astrologer's warning entirely. On the day of the ceremony, relatives gathered for the Ayani Unu, the traditional feast. The wedding was minutes away from being finalized, but during the meal, a sudden heated argument broke out. Within minutes, the celebration collapsed into a bitter feud that split the family into warring factions. The bride's father, unable to control the chaos and fearing for his family's reputation, abruptly canceled the marriage on the spot. Seeing an opportunity to spite the other faction, a man from the rival group stepped forward and offered his own daughter to the ponti. To save face, the ponti accepted, and they were married that same hour. By aggressively pursuing the first marriage, the ponti had created the very tension that led him to his second wife, fulfilling the first half of the prophecy. Within 6 months, the second half of the prediction came true. The ponti's new wife died suddenly, before she could bear any children. Now a firm believer in the scholar's insight, a grieving ponti returned to Moothathu's home with a new collection of horoscopes to find his next path. Moothathu was just returning from the temple. Again, he didn't sit down, and he didn't open a single manuscript to check the charts. He pointed to the third horoscope in the pile and gave a specific list of outcomes: 2 boys, 1 girl, and a 4th pregnancy that would end in a miscarriage. Every detail of that final prediction, from the genders of the children to the loss of the 4th, happened exactly as Moothathu described. How can someone predict the specific children and medical history of a stranger without performing a single mathematical calculation? Standard astrology in Kerala relies on Padalam Palakayam, calculation boards and cowrie shells, to map out planetary movements over a lifetime. But Moothathu was practicing a different, more elusive discipline called Dootalakshanam, the science of the messenger. Rather than looking at the stars, this method focuses on the micro details of the moment a question is asked. The practitioner observes the client's breathing, their posture, the exact time, and the behavior of nearby animals. This is built on the idea of synchronization, that the small, immediate conditions of a room are linked to the larger forces shaping a person's life. By reading the messenger and their surroundings, the astrologer is reading a snapshot of that person's entire trajectory. Moothathu's story suggests a level of observation that has largely vanished from the modern world. To him, the data for a whole life wasn't hidden in a chart, it was present in the rhythm of a single morning.